Well, hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, Robin Phoenix, and today we're going to continue with some more of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. The last time we have played and completed Episode 1, The Adventures of the Great Departure. And now, moving on to Episode 2, The Adventure of the Unbreakable Speckled Band. Let's begin.
In a corner of that small, dark room, Sholmes and I waited with bated breath. In time, there came from the ventilator a hiss and a soft, almost growl-like sound. Suddenly, Sholmes sprang into action, lashing furiously with his cane at a point in the darkness. "You see it, Wilson?" he yelled, his tense voice reverberating through the air. I raised my dark lantern's shutter, and the room slowly came into view. Sholmes was staring intently at one particular corner when he started whispering to me. The victim's most perplexing final words. The Speckled Band. "I believe this is the terrible coil to which you referred, Wilson." In front of us was an enormous adder, its fangs bared as it threatened to strike. It truly was the most terrible speckled band I had ever seen.
So then, let us unravel this mystery and discover what events led to this curious murder. Pray, do excuse me. The cabin door was bolted from the inside when the man was killed. No marks to suggest the bolt was tampered with in any way. So, this would appear to be a locked room mystery. In his final moments, the victim scrawled a message on the floor. Almost certainly with the ink from this upset bottle. A Russian word. So the victim was a Russian man then. And the letters are well formed, suggesting he was compos mentis at the time. This is a most extraordinary script. And evidently not penned by the same hand as this message. In fact, I deduce it was written by someone of a different nationality. This paper seal was placed just prior to the incident, by the victim himself, I would venture. Well, what have we here?
Who are you, and what do you think you're doing here?
No one must touch before maritime police come. We must wait!
Shh. That won't be necessary. You see, in less than 5 seconds from now, I will reveal the killer to you.
What? Don't be absurd. This is murder. And in cabin locked from inside.
Ah yes, the locked room. But that mystery is paper thin.
You don't mean the culprit is in there?
Who are you, and where have you come from?
I'm a great British consultant detective, the only one in the world. Sherlock Sholmes. I presume you must have heard of me.
Ugh, my head is throbbing. What's going on? Something's not right here. There's trouble in the air. Wait, I can't move. Ah, what the? Why am I in handcuffs? So you wake up now, We had to drag you out of the wardrobe. I do not believe how you could not wake up. You are too cold-blooded, man. You? You found me then. Da, we found you. And now you pay. Criminal. How long had you hiding in that tiny warehouse, Ugh, sorry. Now you have been found. It is time to admit your crimes. Unless you want to find out how cold the ocean is, No, I'll tell you everything. There's only one thing I'd like to know from you. Isn't that... Why did you do it? Why did you take his life? Miss Usato? Wait, what did you just say? Take his life? Where is he? Where's Kazuma? Ha! You pretend you don't know? You are a wolf in the sheep's pelt. You are the killer. Do not try to make excuses. What? Kazuma-sama's body was discovered not long ago. Here, in this very cabin, that was bolted shut from the inside. His body? Please, do not try to tell us where you were doing this terrible thing in your sleep. Kazuma... dead? But... he can't be. And these handcuffs... surely you don't think I have to know. Why did you take Kazuma-sama's life? Answer me, please! No. No! Kazuma. It was just 2 short weeks ago. Are you sure about this? Won't we get in trouble? Don't you find it fun being a stowaway? Besides, how could you come to England with me to study? It was really something else when they brought your luggage in here earlier, though. The way that Russian crewsman just tossed your traveling case onto the floor. I thought I was gonna die. Yes, I still can't quite believe that. I really didn't think you'd be able to fit inside my trunk. You must even be less of a man than you look. Hey, honestly, I thought I'd broken every bone in my body. Well, it's about 50 days until we docked in Great Britain, so you can confine yourself in my cabin here. I don't expect anyone will discover you. Ugh, I hope not. I get a feeling those Russians wouldn't be so forgiving of a stowaway. They're a sturdy bunch, that's for sure. What I want to know is, why do we need to keep it a secret from the young lady? From our faithful traditional sister Miko Toba, you mean? From your close friend, more to the point, surely we wouldn't confide in her, could we? I don't believe she'd give me away. No, but if she knew what we're done, that would make her guilty by association. It's best that you and I know about this. I suppose so. Anyway, it's about the time that the steward is supposed to come and clean the cabin. I know it's cramped, but you better get in there, I think. It won't be for long. And anyway, compared to hiding inside my traveling case, it'll be a breeze. Yes, but what if the steward decides to open the wardrobe for some reason? Then I'll be in for it. Stop worrying. Tell you what, why don't you write "keep out" or something of this piece of paper? What? Then I can stick it over the wardrobe doors once you're inside. Oh no. We've only been at sea for about 15 days. How can this have happened? We were supposed to be going on this adventure to England together. We leave you at next port. Stay quiet till then. Don't make more trouble for yourself. Murderer. No, I'm not the murderer. Dah, you said before. You said you would admit everything about your crimes. No, that's not right. I mean, yes, I did stow away on this ship, but... murdering my best friend? No one else could have done it. Admit the truth. Sutato-san? Please, tell me what happened. I need to know. Very well. But there is something I would like to ask of you too. Ugh, those eyes. She looks like she's ready to destroy me. This nightmare is getting worse by the minute. I suppose all I can do is try to find out what really happened. He really has been killed, hasn't he? This isn't just a bad dream? And these handcuffs. They think I did it? They think I'm Kazuma's killer? When they found him, the cabin was locked from the inside. What do you mean? There's no access to the cabin via the porthole window, and the bolts of the door can't be operated from outside. In other words, after the crime, the culprit could have escaped these four walls. What? Or to put it another way, the culprit can only have been somebody inside this cabin. Or do you have some other explanation? This is impossible. How did he die then? What happened exactly? You're still going to deny the charge, even despite the circumstances. Please, Sutato-san, you gotta tell me. The cause of death is still undetermined. They don't know how he died? The ship's doctor is examining the body, but of course he has no post-mortem analysis experience. I don't suppose we shall learn more until the expert has been consulted at our next port of call. So presumably that means there is no obvious external signs of injury then. That's true, yes. Can anyone tell me what actually happened here in this cabin? I don't understand it. Why would anyone want to kill Kazuma? Presumably that's something you know the answer to better than anyone. Please. Whatever you say, you were here in the cabin after all. Well, yes, I was, but... He would always wake before dawn and do his training first thing in the morning. He was waiting outside his cabin every day so far on his voyage. But this morning, he did not come. I could sense that he wouldn't. Does that mean he was already dead when Susato-san arrived to the cabin door, I wonder? He knocked, but there was no reply. Then I started to become worried, so I went to find a member of the crew. The crewman forced the cabin door open, and we managed to get inside. There was Kazuma-sama, collapsed on the floor. And the white tape now shows exactly where he is found, I suppose. I had no idea anything bad happened. I must have been asleep in this wardrobe somehow. I wish it wasn't the case, but that's just very hard to believe. This is all very hard to believe for me too. Trust me. Now I've told you everything that I know, so it's my turn to ask you a question. Yes, alright. Ugh, my head feels so heavy. It's still throbbing like anything. Why are you even on board on this ship, Naruhodo-san? You said something before about being a stowaway, didn't you? Oh, yes, I'm afraid that's true. It's 2 weeks since we left Japan now, and I've been shut up in this cabin the whole entire time. I had no idea. But how could you have occupied Kazuma-sama's cabin for so long without him noticing? No, that would have been impossible, obviously. Yes, of course. Kazuma invited me. He wanted us to go to England together. He actually asked you? But why? I'm afraid I don't really know the reason myself. I don't understand. Kazuma, why do you want this? What's the real reason? Why go such an extreme length to smuggle me to England with you? It's an idea that has been on my mind ever since the day of that incredible trial. think I told you then, didn't I? That you ought to become a lawyer yourself. Oh, yes, you did say that, but I didn't think you were serious. You have a talent for it. I can assure you of that. But I never really thought about becoming a lawyer. Well, that's something you can decide for yourself. London is at the spearhead of cultural development, the century of the world in many ways. There can't be any harm in seeing such an important place with your own eyes, can there? Well, no, definitely not. But on the personal level, if you were to become a lawyer, then what? Nothing. Forget it. Kazuma-sama he was always saying the same thing, that he wanted to change the Japanese legal system. Perhaps he thought that he could do that with you. Yes, maybe. Something's still bothering me a little. The look in his eyes then. It was darker than I ever seen it before. Susasuta? I'm sorry that we kept it a secret from you, by stowing away on the ship, I mean. If I know Kazuma-sama, I expect he was trying to protect me, to avoid me being guilty by association. That's exactly right, yes. Word perfect, in fact. If you're not the culprit, then tell me, what happened last night here in this cabin? Well, the thing is, I don't really remember. Kazuma brought me something to eat, just like he always did. And then I got myself into that wardrobe over there, just like I always did. After that, I fell asleep? Well, yes. So deeply that you couldn't stir when Kazuma-sama was killed? Well, yes. I know it sounds unbelievable, really, I do, but it's the truth. If only I'd woken up, and perhaps I wouldn't be in this predicament. And for some reason, my head's still throbbing like anything. Really? Is something wrong? Oh, no, it's... Please, forget it. Susato-san, you gotta believe me, I didn't do it. I really don't want to doubt you. But the trouble is, there is no one who could possibly have done this. Ugh. Kazuma, I don't understand. Why? Why did this have to happen? Ugh, can't take this. Don't try to go anywhere. You're the perpetrator of this crime. You can't leave. I can't allow that to happen. I'm sorry, but Kazuma was killed right under my nose here, and I didn't do anything to stop it. And now I'm supposed to just sit around, my hands tied, while whoever did this walks free? No, I can't allow that to happen. Well, what do you propose to do then? I'm going to investigate. I'm going to find out exactly what happened here. I'm going to work out who took Kazuma's life, and how and why they did it. So I'm sorry, but you're going to have to excuse me. Hiya! What the? That was a Susato takedown. Susato what? What martial art form is that? I'm going to need you to prove it. Sorry? Prove it? Yes, your innocence. I need evidence. But how am I supposed to... Have you forgotten already? What you achieved just a few weeks ago. You used successfully to defend yourself in the court of law. Ah, I see. He's expecting me to present some conclusive evidence. I have to get Susato's-san to believe me. I'll show her some evidence right now that proves that I'm not guilty of this awful crime.
Yes!
Tell me, when I discovered in this wardrobe, was this piece of paper stuck over the doors? Oh, yes it was. I remember clearly. I thought so. Kazuma always puts it in place whenever I went to sleep in there. Just in case the cabin steward or other crew member decides to look inside. So naturally, he did the same last night as well. Ah. Yes, of course. The gentleman who discovered you peeled that sign off the wardrobe doors before he opened them. If I were truly the culprit, I couldn't climb back inside the wardrobe and stick this on the outside of the doors on my own. Yes, that's quite true. In other words, it's impossible that I killed Kazuma. Well, even if you were sprawled hopelessly on the floor, I can see why Kazuma-sama thought so highly of you. Thank you, Susato-san. Now, do you think perhaps you could help me up? Well, in the light of that evidence, I don't see any reason why I should stop you from investigating in here, at least. Thank you! Do you finally believe me? I'm sorry. No. What? I'm not sure yet. I can't rule out the possibility that you used some sort of conjuring trick to put the sign back in position. What does she think? I am a magician? For now, I suggest you investigate as thoroughly as possible in here. I'll do the same. Alright, let's get to work, Susato-san. Please don't misunderstand me. I still have my doubts. Oh. I shall be watching you, to make sure you do nothing that might disturb the crime scene. I wouldn't want you using your conjuring tricks to destroy evidence, for example. Right. Well, anyway, I should make a start on investigating in here. Examine everything I can. Kazuma, I swear, I will avenge your death. Alright. That's a very large traveling case, isn't it? Yes, it carries a lot of memories for me. Memories? What do you mean? Well, that's actually how I stowed away on this vessel. I was brought on board inside that case. Ah yes, I see it says "this way up" in Japanese. Which, in hindsight, I should have realized that foreign crewsmen wouldn't be able to read. I was turned over and over and over, and then I was tossed on the floor in here. Oh dear, being a stowaway isn't as romantic as it sounds. Well, it was less painful than a Susato takedown. Oh dear, that won't do. Oh, what's the matter, Susato-san? Whenever I examine things, I always find myself so focused I forget to look around properly. Ah, yes, that's not good. I don't suppose you're as foolish as me in that regard, are you, Naruhodo-san? I'm sure you're careful to look around using D-pad, aren't you? Now, let's investigate all corners in this cabin. Yes, let's do that. I suppose my field of vision has been rather small until now. Did Kazuma write that before he died? It looks like it's written in ink. He must have knocked the ink pot on the desk when he collapsed on the floor. And I suppose he wrote this message by dipping his finger on the spillage. Poor Kazuma-sama. No doubt he was in terrible pain. It's almost unbearable to imagine it. I suppose he was trying to leave some kind of clue in those final moments, was he? I'm sorry, partner, but I can't read your writing. I don't think that's Japanese, Naruhodo-san. What? Then what language is it? It pains me to admit it, but I don't know. Not a foreign script I'm familiar with. What does it mean, I wonder? This is where dear Kazuma-sama would have said whatever he was writing. London Diary. Poor Kazuma. He didn't even make it to his destination. It looks as though his last entry is incomplete. Which means... what? He was in the middle of writing it when the incident happened? Let's see what it says. It could be a valuable clue. Hiya! That's out of the question. What? Kazuma-sama may have departed this world, but you must not read his private thoughts. But what if it was something important? Something relevant to the case? Alright, I won't read it. Poor Kazuma-sama. I don't like prying into people's personal matters either. But in this case, isn't the need for clues more important? It's some 2 weeks ago since we set sail from Japan. Have you really been living in that wardrobe the entire time, Naruhodo-san? I think living isn't quite the right description. Oh no, I suppose not. Although it must have been rather exciting making this voyage in your own secret hideout. The trouble was, I never knew when the member of the crew might come in. So yes, I did basically have to live in that wardrobe. And last night was no exception. But because of that, you had no idea what was happening here out in the cabin. No, sadly not. This is... yes, it's a Belcourt contraption, I think. What do you mean, contraption? I read about it in the book I was studying that talked about the great life in Britain. Large households often have large bell cords like this, which you can pull to ring the bell to summon servants. Really? That sounds almost magical. Shall we give it a little try? Yes! In the interest of cultural research, obviously. I suppose nobody comes for lowly Japanese people. No, I'm sure it's just that everyone is busy, that's all. What do you think this is? It looks like a broken piece of glassware. Whatever that thing was, it appears to have a broken clean into. Glass is such a beautiful color. It looks like a cute little Nesuke flattener in from a Komodo outfit. I'm not sure that sounds like Kazuma. He wouldn't have secretly carried a cute little tinklet like this around with him, would he? And the mark beside it, what is it, I wonder? It is some sort of brick like hue. Yes, you're right. It is the color of brick, isn't it? Even though I don't see anything of the same color anywhere else in this cabin. These are the rules of passage for traveling around the SS Bruya. It's essentially a list of requests for the captain of all passengers on board. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. What? Why are you staring at me? Oh, sorry, I was just thinking. Are you more of a dangerous object or a pet? I can't decide. Well, one thing's for sure, neither way I wasn't supposed to be in here. The books haven't fallen over the shelf. Look, they're all toppled the same way. What's this? Statue of some god of the sea? Although he's fallen over as well. Yes, it's almost as if the whole shelf has been ransacked and everything mowed down at once. I wonder if... Perhaps it was Kazuma-sama doing his morning sword training, do you think? I seriously doubt it. Then perhaps... It was you, Naruhodo-san, in a fit of rage. I wouldn't have bothered leaving the wardrobe just to mess up a few books and a statue. But the way these things have been thrown about have anything to do with this case, I wonder? Well, I just set everything straight again. I don't like to see a mess. It's Kazuma-sama's precious sword. He never went anything without it. Yes, he was always saying that the Japanese man's katana is his sword. I believe he had to work very hard to convince the government to allow him to bring it on this trip. I suppose I showed just how important it was to him. And now he's gone. But I'm not ready to let his spirit go just yet. Perhaps I should see what this Russian cruiseman makes of the scene of the crime. Excuse me. What? I was wondering how it was going. The investigation, I mean. Grandmother told me Japanese people do not make jokes, but it's not true, I see. Sorry? The criminal asking investigator for information about his crime? Very funny. Oh, it wasn't supposed to be a joke. He doesn't appear to be laughing either. He's convinced you're guilty. He must have been useful information though. I have to keep trying. So, last night, did you notice anything out of the ordinary at all? Niet, of course not. Now back to corner of room and make silent. I say no more to you. Did I hit a nerve? Just for a minute there, he seems a little flustered. Seigi, the Japanese word for justice. The brush strokes are straight as true, just like Kazuma. Yes, his calligraphy always was the reflection of his heart. Yet you, can you really look at these characters without feeling shame knowing who drew them so thoughtfully? Of course I am. I mean, I'm innocent, so why shouldn't I be able to? Even though you stole away on the ship? Now you're going to bring that up, are you? I can't win. That's my dinner from last night. A roast chicken. It was really tasty. Yes, it was very delicious, wasn't it? But, did you eat it on the floor here? I'm not a dog, Susato-san. I ate it on the table, of course. Which begs the question of, when and how did the plate end up on the floor? But Kazuma-sama didn't like chicken at all, didn't he? No, that's right. So he didn't touch it. Which meant all the more for me. Oh no, does that mean poor Kazuma-sama spent his last night on this earth with an empty belly? It's just too horrible. Ugh, now I suddenly have a guilty conscience and an achy stomach. Okay, okay, door. When I went for help and the cruiser forced the door open, this bolt has been firmly closed. It's quite a small bolt, but not particularly sturdy, and it just slides across to secure the door shut. But still, with the door bolted, there could be no way to get in or out of the cabin, that's for sure. No wonder everyone suspects me. When she glares at me like that, I feel tense all up and down my spine. I remember reading once a detective novel. The culprit used a needle and thread to drew the bolt across from outside the room in a situation like this. Yes, that's a clever trick, isn't it? I'm an avid reader of detective stories myself. But the door of this cabin and its frame are made of metal, and they seal together perfectly. There would be no possibility of using that needle and thread trick here, I'm afraid. When she glares at me like that, I feel pins and needles all up down my spine. Okay. Let's see. Where? Am I missing something? Ah, here it is. I think that's some kind of opening for a ventilator. A hole through which fresh air can circulate into the cavern. Isn't that a little odd? What do you mean? Well, this ventilator, if that's what it is, looks like it must connect to the next door cavern. Yes, it would appear too. You're right. But if its purpose is to allow fresh air into the room, surely it could have been connected to the outside. That's true. Perhaps it's so that rain and spray don't find their way in when the seas are rough or something like that. I suppose. Maybe that's it. Oh. Who's that? He wasn't there a minute ago. As far as I could tell, it looks like he might be European. Oh, how did he... You noticed the man too, have you? I have no idea who he is or how he got in here, but he looks suspicious and tall. Suspiciously tall. Naruto-san, don't tell me. Do you really not know who that is? Well, no. I don't have any foreign friends or acquaintances at all. He doesn't look like a member of the crew. There's something very unusual about him. And is he investigating Kazuma's death or he's just playing on it? Can't tell. Well, in that case, we simply must talk with him. Am I just imagining, or just Susato-san looks almost uncontrollably excited? By the way, I expect you noticed already, but just in case, if you press X on people when they're on the crosshairs, you can converse with them. Alright then, I'll give the suspiciously tall gentleman in my sights and see what he has to say for himself. Oh, please do. Well, let's do that. Excuse me. Excuse me, do you have a moment? Shh! This is a critical point in my investigation. Maybe I should leave him alone. He seems a little unfriendly. Yes, perhaps that would be for the best. Greetings! I hope I haven't kept you long. Ah! What exactly are you doing at Kazuma's desk just now? Ah, I see. Fascinating. Sorry? What did you see? It feels like he's looking right through me. Oh yes, everything is clear now. The train of reasoning has run its course. My deductions have crystallized. You have been in Afghanistan, I presume. Just recently returned, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry? What? And now, while venturing towards foreign climes, you find yourself in the most troubling predicament. Oh, well that's true at least. But how? How the deuce did I know that, perhaps? It was really the most elementary deduction, hardly worth explaining. Have you perhaps managed to deduct anything else? But of course, a great many things. There is no mystery, my dear madam. For example, you have fled your native land of Russia, being, as you are, a merciless revolutionary. You leave 16 victims of assassination in your wake, and now travel to England to blow up the Crystal Tower. And when the Bill Ribbon copyright of this very camera discovered your identity, you ended his life too. Yes, I believe that sums the facts beautifully. No need to hide the truth now. Nothing deceives these eyes. Just to be clear, you are talking about me, are you? Certainly I am. Do you see another cabin who fits the bill? A Russian assassin with 16 victims to his name? I don't even see one person that fits the bill. So it's true. It was you who did this to Kazuma-sama. What? And you're planning a revolution too! Shameful behavior, Naruhodo-san. Absolutely wicked. No, listen, there's no way Hiya! Now explain yourself. Tell me everything. This is ridiculous. How could you do it? For pity's sakes, open your eyes. I'm not a Russian revolutionary, obviously. Oh, forgive me. And as for you, what kind of deduction was that? You were just saying the first thing that came in your head. But wasn't outright. While venturing towards foreign climes, you find yourself in the most troubling predicament. Do you not? Well, yes, maybe. Ha! There you have it, you see. What do you think of that? Well, to be honest, this ship is en route to England, and I'm in handcuffs at the scene of the murder. So, I'm not really sure you could call me a deduction. It's more plainly observation. Indeed, an observation, my dear boy, is the basis of all deduction. My method is founded upon the observation of trifles. You see, I announce my findings with a brashly certitude, and more often than not, I'm right. I don't think you introduced yourself. My apologies. A reminiscence of me. I am none other than the greatest detective in the century, known to man and woman the world over. The inimitable Sherlock Holmes. So, it's really you, the actual Sherlock Holmes? The very same. The inimitable, actual Sherlock Holmes. Do you know this man Susato-san? The most famous detective in the world? Naruhodo-san. Of course I do. There's nobody who has heard of him. What planet are we living? What planet men have been living on then? You must ask me what he deducted. You would have worked out the entire case already, I'm sure. Really? But I feel uneasy about this. So, you're the great detective, are you? Sorry, what was your name again? Indeed, I am none other than the one and only Sherlock Holmes. Oh, I see, you're German? Sherlock? Was it? No, I have no hair. I have hair. Please, call me Holmes. You can read all about my exploits in this exciting London publication. Ah yes, Tech magazine, full of wonderful short stories and interest articles from Great Britain. I never miss an issue. I have it sent to England especially. Ah yes, here it is. The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. So, you're the protagonist in this series of short stories then? Indeed I am. And you read so many stories. If you've read so many of your stories, you're starting to think you really are a detective. Make no mistake, I'm not the poor deluged fellow you take me for. Your interference is backwards. Backwards? My trusty biographer records the greatest introduction in your achievements and chronicles them into the magazine. You have a biographer, do you? Doesn't everyone? Mine goes by the name of Dr. Wilson. Presently keeping shop in London. Dr. Wilson? I must say, thanks to that publication, I've been fantastically busy of late. Why, at this very moment, I am returning from Asia, having solved the mystery of the cursed royal crown. Really, I can't work out whether I should take this man seriously or not. Deduction, you see, is to me a science, logical reasoning in its purest form. A science? Really? The acute observer noticed that even the most subtle reactions to this subject. A further glance, a twitch of a muscle, a slight inclination of the posture. Fingernails, arm sleeves, frills in the skin, all these things are data. Right. And the trained logician make deductions from this data in the blink of an eye. The ultimate conclusion is, without fail, the truth. As I demonstrated only a few short moments ago. How can you look at me in the eye and claim that? So you see, I have to turn both to the observation and for deduction, and fame. That is what makes me the one and only Sherlock Holmes. Have you managed to deduct anything about this particular case yet? Have I managed to deduct everything, my dear fellow? Who do you suppose discovered the culprit in his most cunning hiding place? That's right. It was none other than the great detective before you now, Mr. Sherlock Holmes. Ah, I see. In other words, I'm in these now because of him. When I became anxious about Kazuma-sama this morning, I summoned all the crew members to force the cabin door open. And I concealed myself among their number, getting entry of the scene of the crime. Yes, luckily for everyone, the great detective Sherlock Holmes was on board. And the handcuff seems to be an excellent fit, Mr. Naruhodo. The very moment I laid eyes on the scene, two facts were immediately apparent to me. Oh really? Two facts, you say? Mr. Holmes, tell us please, what two facts were apparent to you when you came into the cabin this morning? Ah, yes. But first, let us be precise. The two facts in question were immediately apparent to me. Yes, I understand. But what were they? Allow me to iterate. The two facts that I deduct from the mere momentary glance of the scene of the crime were as follows. Number 1, the cabin was locked from within, rendering escape of the culprit out of the question. Number 2, the victim was Russian and killed following a dispute with the acquaintance. Hold on, Mr. Schultz. What makes you think the victim was Russian? Observe the dying mentions that from the victim on the floor. I'm not going to pronounce that. That is the Russian word for wardrobe. Do you really think Kazuma-sama could have left a dying message in Russian? In their final moments, may they find the native tongue fitting their head for this young man, Russian. Kazuma was Russian, was he? Initially, I considered Yarobov, made the name of the killer, a certain Robert Guard, perhaps. But in the interest of thoroughness, I decided it would be wrong not to look inside the wardrobe there at least. Where you found Mr. Naruhodo sleeping soundly? Quite so. I found you, the renowned Russian revolutionary killer. Why is it that I'm Russian too? I observed that you were wearing the same attire as the victim. In other words, you were acquainted. If my memory serves, that outfit is a traditional dress of the Russian people. Our school uniforms are the traditional dress of the Russian people? I have no idea. And I had no idea the detective could get something so wrong. Took a photograph of the victim in the message, that I could analyze you for possible hidden details. This was taken immediately after the young man was discovered, before the body was removed. Yes, Kazuma has already been taken away when I woke up. This is the first time I actually seen him like this. Are you alright, Mr. Naruto? Oh, yes. Thank you. Can I ask you something, Mr. Schultz? What, pray? You mentioned Russia before as well, didn't you? You know, when you said I was a fearsome revolutionary fleeing from Russia and all that... Oh yes, the train of reasoning had led me to the truth. Would you mind explaining the train of reasoning to me, do you think? Certainly, if that interests you. How many times? I'm not Russian and I don't speak Russian. Can we talk about your deduction before the things you concluded about me, I mean? The now famously accused troubling predicament you find yourself in? Actually, it was the other details that I was more hoping to discuss. You know, the merciless Russian revolutionary and assassin of 16 part? Oh yes, the more sword details. It was a fairly commonplace deduction. Here we have this morning's paper. The main headline reads, Revolutionary villain Borsig flees Russia via Shanghai. His vessel made a port call at Shanghai yesterday, and last night a young Russian was murdered. Since when was Kazuma a Russian? Sounds like Mr. Shulman concluded he was Russian because of what Kazuma-sama wrote on the floor. It was a simple act of reasoning to realize that the culprit of this crime was the same merciless revolutionary, one who killed the very man who helped him escape after his true identity was discovered. Yes, you. Village Bolshevik. No, how could it be me? I don't look anything like this man, just look at his face! Well, you are a fierce revolutionary after all. Therefore, you have no doubt learned to revolutionize your appearance as well. Ugh, please. Madam, your name does not appear in the chief passenger list. Need I say more? Well, that's because I'm a stowaway. What about the other details? The 16 victims of assassination and blowing up the Crystal Tower? Oh yes, the journalist clearly interviewed the man and printed all these particulars in the article. The deeds the man perpetrated as far and Dosia's plotting. Yes, everything about this revolutionary Bolshevik was included. There could be no mistake. Do revolutionaries usually agree to interviews with newspaper reporters, I wonder? What about the part where you said I was returning from Afghanistan? Also quite clearly stated in the article. Bolshevik was really recently returned to the period of suburban advertisers in a war-torn region of Afghanistan. Where even is it anyways? This Afghanistan place. Here, take this paper for yourself. It's a little memento of a great deduction. Oh, thank you. I have stored all that of interest in me within the pages, so I see no rubbish bin nearby. And you may find the article at the back page of interest as well. On the back, cast your eyes over it any time the interest takes you, though you may need someone to interpret. It's all written in Russian. I couldn't hope to read it, but I suppose it would hurt to just glance at the article. Maybe there's even a picture or two. Let's actually take a look right now. This is interesting. Have you found something relevant out of Oda-san? Well, no, I mean, it looks like it might be interesting. I can't read a single word, I'm afraid. No, nor can I. But look at this picture. Perhaps it's about a beautiful young Russian princess, do you think? She is very pretty, isn't she? I suppose you enjoy articles like this, do you? I don't know. I can't make any sense of it. Oh, I'm glad you noticed this article. Ah! Allow me to give you a short summary of this content. Oh, thank you. It pops up everywhere, this Mr. Sholmes. It's about the disappearance of this young lady last night. Renouge prima ballerina of the Norseberg Ballet disappeared from Shanghai. During the performance in Shanghai, the famous dancer was reported missing. She is, of course, the talented young Nikolina Pavlovia. Why are Russian names so hard to remember? It would appear the woman in the costume where she was to be found is the missing from her dressing room, wearing the diamond tiara you see pictured, which is worth at least 20,000 rubles. Oh, how much is 20,000 rubles? I have no idea, but I'm quite sure it must be an unbelievable sum of money. Usato's son's eyes are shining like diamonds themselves. The tiara is the property of the Norseberg Ballet. It would seem the director is beside herself with worry. Yes, I'm not surprised. The company is most anxious to recover both Miss Pavlovia and the valuable tiara. They requested international assistance of all ports from sailing to Great Britain. Could this be another case of the Russian fleeing his or her country? It just seems to be the Russian thing to do. I'm not even going to digestify with that response, Mr. Naruhodo. That's interesting. Before we start talking, you were examining Kazuma's desk, were you? Kazuma? Oh yes, the victim. Did you notice anything useful? Anything at all? Observe for a moment the desktop of the victim. You see that the victim was engaged in penning some text. London diary. Kazuma's keeping notes of the trip. But I don't think you should read his private writings. It could upset people. Tragic. And something you ought to perhaps dilute before you act of reading. You mean you read it already? It is my business to know what other people do not. Yes, believe it or not, I know a smattering of Japanese. Oh, I see. Well, you're about to know what a Susato's takedown is. Susato-san, are you going to throw the detective with one of your trademark takedowns? I'm sorry, Naruhodo-san. What on earth do you mean? Life is so unfair. Anyway, to return to the matter at hand, namely, this diary belongs to the victim. It would appear that the final sentence is complete, as if the author was cut short. Tell me, what is the nature of this writing? Pray be precise as to details. Oh, but I thought you knew Japanese. A smattering, dear boy, a smattering. Sayonara, bonsai, nodaro, nado. I trust you sleep impressed. Ha! But this diary is littered with complicated-looking characters, to which I can read precisely none. Oh! So what was all about showing off about before then? If you would be so kind as to show me, I would be happy to read it for you, Mr. Sholmes. I'm much obliged, my dear madam. The final entry here, Kazuma-sama's diary, consists of the two short sentences. The first reads, 1:23 a.m. I hear a faint whistling sound. A whistling sound? These are the very deep waters. Pray, go on. Second sentence reads, 1:35 a.m. What looks some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grizzle. A speckled band? What on earth does that mean? I have no idea. I never heard of that expression before. The ventilator grill, you say? The man is specifically referring to the laces over there on the wall, which connects to the adjoining cavern. Yes, the adjoining cavern. So, I believe I've given you enough to consider for the time being at least. Do you have somewhere to go? As it happens, the victim's writings in his diary have piqued my interest. The matter warrants further investigation, I believe, for I am still too long the seasickness to take hold. Oh, I suppose you're thinking of investigating the cabin next door, which the ventilator connects to? Great detectives are a curious breed. Our minds revel in stagnation. We crave medical installation. So yes, I intend to investigate. Hence the truth will become clear soon enough. Do you think perhaps that we could go with you? No. That would be somewhat complicated. What? Why? A simple glance of your wish should reveal your answer. Oh, these. After all, you are a prime suspect on this matter. No. There's no point trying to turn it into a question. You're the one who decided I was the culprit in the first place. Whatever do you mean? I have no recollection of naming you as a culprit at any point. You must be joking. You just said it only a moment ago. Dear me, you are clearly misguided. I will have no cause to say such a thing. Well, actually, Mr. Sholmes, I did hear you say that too. You're quite sure? Oh, that's very strange. I would have said you were the face of a criminal, you know. Not really. Oh, whoa, you were looking at my niece before? Some great detective you are. Well, anyway, that was then and this is now. What do you mean? What I mean, sir, is this. If you are the culprit, then you must play the part more convincingly. Roll over and accept your fate. Now he's just being plain rude. And off he goes, having just laughed in my face. His sense of humor as twisted as his name. Naruhodo-san, what are you just standing there for? You must go investigate the cabin next door as well. Aren't you forgetting something? What about these? There's no way I can— Hiya! After Kazuma-sama spent his dying moments struggling to leave us a clue, you are willing to give up? You're just going to roll over and accept your fate? Ugh, as if you gave me any choice of the rolling over part. I think we still have some investigation to finish off here first, don't we? Let's carry on examining what we can in this cabin while we wait for the chance to slip next door. Good idea. This situation doesn't look good for me, but there are still things I could do to help myself. And I ordered Kazuma to do everything I can to find a way out of this, and bring the real culprit to justice. Is that... Is something wrong, Naruhodo-san? Oh, no, it's just that crewman standing by the door. I can't help feeling that I've seen him somewhere before. Oh yes, you're right. He does look familiar. Excuse me, sir. Yes? What can I do for you? I recognize that face, but it can't be. It is! I didn't know you were here, Inspector Hosonaga. Hello again. What are you doing here? I think that should be my line. I was so stunned when I saw you, my heart stopped. Nearly stopped, I hope. I received some special orders to go undercover as the member of the crew and board this ship. Again? You certainly seem to enjoy undercover work, Inspector. If there's anything I can do to help you, please ask. I never expect to see this man on board, but perhaps his presence can help me out of this hopeless situation. So what are your special orders this time, Inspector? Yes, and why are you dressed as a member of the crew? I'm so sorry. This is all my fault. I take full responsibility. For what? My orders were to act as Hosogi-san's bodyguard. It was Minister Justice Jikoku who pushed for this overseas study tour to go ahead. And he entrusted me with ensuring that Hosogi-san reached Great Britain without being assassinated. Assassinated? How has that even been a possibility? I'm not sure. But these are complicated times. There are tensions between the world's greatest powers. Minister Jikoku said we should be prepared of all eventualities. This is incredible. I don't believe it. Kazuma-sama was assassinated? Obviously, we couldn't give Asogi-san a visible security escort. Which is why I'm undercover now, posing as one of the crew. I see. And I didn't take my eyes off him the entire time we've been on board. From morning until night, every day. But I never imagined it would end up here, inside his own cabin. Not here on the first-class deck. I failed miserably at my assignment, and Asogi-san is dead as a result. I'm a disgrace. All I could do is humbly apologize. Inspector! If there's anything at all I could do to help now, just say the word. We're doing what we can to investigate Kazuma's death ourselves. I thought you might be. You didn't do it, did you? You're not the killer? Of course not! I'd really like to investigate the cabin next door. Yes, but we need to be allowed out of the cabin. I'm sorry. What? You've been deemed a risk to the ship's safety. If you move to even touch the handle of this cabin door, the stormy-looking seaman there would surely snap your neck in two. Ugh. I suppose I'm just not a stowaway now. They think I'm a murderer as well. Would it be possible to give me something to work with, do you think? I'm going to need something persuasive. What do you mean? If I had a solid reason why the next door cabin should be investigated, for example, I'll do everything I could to persuade the captain to allow it. I'll lay my life on the line if I have to. But I don't see how... Maybe a way. What? Really? Think of how you tried to persuade me to your innocence, Naruhodo-san, by presenting me with a piece of evidence that you already had in your possession. Evidence? It's just the same as when you were in court. You must have done it many times during your trial. Simply select the present panel and choose some evidence that Inspector Hosonaga could use. So, evidence that could give us a viable reason to investigate the next door cabin, is it? Alright, yes, I think I might know what I can use. Let's see if I can present the detective with the evidence he needs to persuade the captain. What's that? It's Kazuma's diary. Just before he died, Kazuma-sama wrote something rather strange in his diary. Strange? In what way? He wrote, what looked like some kind of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. A speckled band? That is strange. Yes, we're still trying to work out what he meant by that. What I'd like to know is... Don't tell me. The ventilator, is it? You're really a toothpaste inspector. The ventilator clearly joins to the next door cabin. That's right. So we can investigate in there. We might be able to work out that speckled band it was. Alright then. I can't leave this cabin at the moment. I'm stuck here till we arrive at the next port. The captain has given me strict orders to guard the scene of the crime, you see. I'll have to entrust the investigation to you. Really? You're willing to do that? Yes, as long as you don't leave the first-class cabin area. I'm afraid I can't remove these handcuffs, though. But what about the captain? Are you going against his direct orders? I'm a man of my word. And I promise you that I laid my life on the line if that's what it takes to convince the captain. After all, I failed to keep Asogi-san safe. This is the least I could do. Thank you. Let's seize the moment then, Naruhodo-san. Just to let move so we can leave this cabin at last. Move? Alright, let's see what we can find out. I'm finally out of that cabin. I have to admit, this isn't quite what I was expecting. It's less spacious out here than I thought it would be, and this is the most luxurious accommodation. Yes, indeed. Kazuma-san was being sent to the study tour by the government. That's why he was being put out the first-class cabin. Even still, this is about twice as large as my accommodation in steerage. Really? That must be awful. Oh, look over there. It's another crewsman keeping watch, and it looks enormous even if he's sitting down. The door next to him leads to the second-class accommodation. I suppose he's making sure that no one comes in here who shouldn't. I suppose... and people in handcuffs... Naruhodo-san, you look like a little boy visiting a toy shop for the first time. I would have thought you were used to the ship by now. You've been at sea for 2 weeks already. Oh yes, I know, but the thing is, I was inside Kazuma's trunk when I first came aboard. And ever since then I've been shut up inside that little wardrobe. It must have been a very trying time for you. Please don't give me that pity look. Excuse me, but can I ask you something? You little stowaway murderer! That wasn't a good start, wasn't it? Alright, let me try instead. Good day, Mr. Sailor. I'm so sorry to trouble you, but could I perhaps ask you something for you? You little third-class lady maid! Oh, you seem to have caught the sailor on a bad day, Susato-san. I am not sailor. My mother gave me name. I am senior crewsman. Beef Stroganoff. Oof, the best thing is to just avoid eye contact, I think. Mr. Stroganoff, about this first-class cabin area. Here we are find this part of Brunia's steamship for very important persons. What sort of very important persons? Government officials, kings and queens traveling in secret, many important persons. That is why I'm always guarding this place. Gosh, that's amazing. But somehow I let stupid stowaway inside. I want to pick you up and throw you in the ocean, but Stroganoff is not at the mark. Thank you? If I may, I was wondering, is the cabin next to Mr. Asogi currently occupied? Blah! Susato-san, did you understand that? It sounded like da. I think it's probably Russian for yes, or no. Genius. It is not permitted to visit the cabin without invitation. Well, it sounds like there is somebody in the next door cabin at least. Yes, it's tantalizing. But hey, can you tell us about who's traveling the cabin next to Mr. Asogi's? His name is Mr. Grimsby Roylett. He is a very important Western gentleman. A Western gentleman? Do not think about it. He has nothing to do with the murder of the student boy. How can you be so sure about that? Mr. Royle is an authentic Western gentleman. Such a man could have no interest in lowly students like from significant Far East Islands. That was harsh. Could you tell us about Mr. Royle that came around? That is not your business. Come to think of it, even though we've been at sea for 2 weeks now and I've been at Kazuma's cabin the whole entire time, I never once heard anything about the next door cabin, or even felt like there's anyone there. Well, presumably, since the gentleman is occupying one of the first class cabins, he must have been rather important, isn't that right? That is not your business. Are you on watch here all the time, Seaman Stromanov? Da, all time. No criminal like you cannot come in, or get out. I wonder, could you tell us anything about last night at all? It is sad about Student Boy. Were you on watch last night as well? Of course. And did you notice anything at the time? Anything unusual? Niet! Susato-san, did you understand that? It was clearly a no. I saw nothing unusual. Nothing at all. And you didn't hear any strange noises or sense anything was wrong in some way? I said no! Sorry! I'm not so sure. I could have sworn that he wouldn't catch my eye for a second moment there. This is enough. I cannot say more now. Oh, it is time for me to report to Captain. You must return to cabin. Yes, alright. Bulkhead and second-class area is staying locked at all times. You escape with the lobster whistles at top of mountain, or, as English say, when the pigs fly. Yes, I understand. Good. Now we can investigate the area properly, shall we? Definitely. That's the way to the second-class area of the ship. Is something wrong? I was thinking of making a run for it, just for a moment. Things aren't exactly going well for me. I might be wrong, but I imagine the moment you reach the handle of the door, a burly seaman will surely shoot you dead. Oh dear, I'm sorry. Perhaps I went a little too far there. No, I started it with my talk of running away. And there's no way I could run away while Kazuma's death remains a mystery anyways. The book on top of the table really is huge, but there's a pen with it too. Yes, I'm sure that's the ship's log. Shall we have a little look to it? The writing is so neat and precise, every detail about the voyage has been mercifully recorded. You would expect the rough and ready sailors to have such beautiful handwriting. Anyway, look here. Last night's log is mostly blank. Presumably that means there was nothing to report. This looks like a plan of the SS Buria. The Buria is a large-scale steamship with a triple-skin hull. What a marvel of engineering. Well, it's been playing on my mind for a while now, actually, but how is it such a large hump of metal doesn't sink at the bottom of the ocean? Oh, that's really quite simple, Naruhodo-san. It is? Well, consider the Japanese archipelago. The islands of Japan. Yes, they're not metal, but they're enormous lumps of earth, many, many times larger than this ship. And they don't sink, do they? They've been flying happily in the sea since the gods created them. Well, I suppose so. This is it. This is the cabin next to ours, the one the ventilator connects to. Yes, the ventilator to which customer someone wrote that he saw the speckled band engaging. Maybe whoever's in this cabin can help solve that particular mystery. Let's ask. No answer. Out of luck, it seems. No one in there to help out with our inquiries. How annoying. What do you think this is? It's a very pleasing shape, isn't it? That's the emergency alarm. It's probably best not to touch it. Oh, an alarm. It says, press only in times of emergency. It looks as though it sends alarm bells ringing all over the ship and brings the vessel to a complete stop. Oh, this I have to see. What are you doing out of You mustn't touch it. But this is an emergency situation. Just look at these handcuffs. You know full well that's not what the alarm is for. If you were to bring this vessel to the standstill with no good reason, you'll be in an even worse situation. I wish everything could just stop. This ship included. If you have to do something foolish, at least make it something that doesn't affect anyone else. Ah! What was that? It came from inside the cabin. There's a high-pitched scream. It must have been a woman. Stand aside. I'm about to break the door down. Mr. Sholmes! I shan't be stopped. When the fit's on me, I reveal kicking doors off the hinges. Please, wait, Mr. Sholmes! The door doesn't appear to be bolted. It doesn't? How the deuce can I dispatch the the muscular urge? What prig can I kick? I think we should go in. There's no time to think about stress relief. Who are you? A Western gentleman? That looks Russian to me. We heard a woman scream. A woman? Don't be disturbed. As you can see, there's nobody but me in this cabin. True, this old man does appear to be the only person in here. And in that case, who just screamed? Get out! All of you! Now! Please excuse the intrusion, but you're Mr. Grinsby Roylet, I believe. Yes, that's me. And you are? I am the one and only the actual Sherlock Sholmes. You heard of me, no doubt. No. I'm a great detective among great detectives, one who adores the cover of the popular magazines, no less. So I assure you, you may trust me completely. The man used this magazine like a business card. A detective? I do not trust detectives. We distinctly heard a scream and emanate from within the walls. But there wouldn't appear to be a lady concealing herself within the wardrobe this time. But might I be bold to ask you to open a small traveling case? What? Don't be stupid! How could anyone fit such a small trunk like that? Well, it's quite fashionable these days, is it not? Traveling inside one's trunk? Don't look at me. Oh my, did you see that, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, the case just shook. Leave, now, otherwise I'll call the steward. So this is Cosima's neighbor, Mr. Grinsby Roylet. There's no doubt about it. The strange Russian man is hiding something. I couldn't agree more. Let's see if we can find some clues before that burly sailor returns. Mr. Roylet, we'd like to talk to you about something. No. Oh, I do not want to talk. Leave my cabin now. Ugh, this is going terribly. We're not going to get anywhere here. I agree. There must be someone else who can help. Perhaps that great detective could get anywhere from Mr. Roylet. Do you have a moment, please, Mr. Sholmes? You need only address me as Sholmes. That's what I just did, isn't it? Well, Mr. Sholmes, what were you doing in there? Why, I was resting, of course. Resting? Indeed, I was contemplating our sea voyage from the confines of the wardrobe while waiting. Waiting for the inevitable time that you would need to call my pretty powers of deduction into service. Oh! It would seem that the hour is upon us now. The time has come. Am I mistaken? Well, no actually. You're spot on. For once. Observe closely. A Russian host in this cabin, Mr. Voynet, is clearly trying to hide something. And do you know what the most efficient weapon to use against a Russian hiding a secret? Why? The truth, of course. Though it shouldn't be pointed out that the stir methods is not exclusive to the Russians. Right. Can you imagine how the Russians will react when the secret they guard so closely is exposed? Would you like to witness it? Oh yes, please! Well then, what are you about to see may well astound you. For I am about to apply my greatest detectives greatly admire great deduction to the case. Could this man be the more hackneyed portrayal of dubious Russian, I ask you? What? From time to time it occurs to me. Is the fellow dubious on account of his Russianness, or Russian on account of his dubiousness? I really don't think either of those things should be occurring to you, or anyone. That's right, and Mr. Sholmes. I know this man's beard and dark glasses are hard to ignore, especially on first meeting, but I once read, it is a capital mistake to theorize before you have all the evidence. It biases the judgment. Shh, I must have complete silence. Well, what are you doing? Why are you peeping at my face like that? Ah, just as I thought. Yes, I have quite made up my mind now. There can be no other explanation that accommodates all the facts. Mr. Roylet, I have reached two inconceivable conclusions. What? What do you mean? Number one, your true identity is that of a villain. Using the spears, you are about to end the existence of something more dear. Are you not? Huh? And number two, the conclusion I have drawn. You are, at this very moment no less, in the midst of committing the most grievous crime. Beneath that beard, your mouth quivers with nervous intentions that you realize you have been discovered. Does it not? Oh, Narahodo-san, I never imagined I could witness signs of Mr. Schultz's great deductions with my own eyes. That was a great deduction? Nothing can deceive Mr. Sholmes. In a single glance, I can deduce all there is to know about a person. What? What inflexible twaddle. Oh yes, I read about accounts of the adventures of Sherlock Sholmes. Now I experience the astonishing impact of his great deductions firsthand. This is like a dream come true. I can hardly believe it, but all the color has drained from Mr. Roylet's face. It looks like somehow both of Mr. Sholmes' conclusions were right. How? How did you? How could I possibly know such things? You wish to say? Very well then. I shall reiterate. I shall explain how I arrived to these pair of conclusions. So do I cordially invite you upon the journey of logical discovery. Let the board the train of reasoning. Put plainly, let us work through my deductions together. Oh yeah, let's do this. Homeland identity. So, in dubious looking Russian Mr. Voynet, obviously, what catches the eye at the first glance? Is the enormous pair of smears in your hand. Now we ask ourselves, What could you possibly want such an implement? The answer, of course, is staring us in the face. You were on the verge of using the spears to cut away a copious beer you sport. Now, moving on. The question here begs of this. Why would you desire to get rid of yourself a magnificent beer, Mr. Voilet? Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed light on the matter. Regarding your will, this morning's newspaper, in particular the fascinating front-page article, which, it would appear, you have read also, Mr. Voilet. I'm sure it needs no further clarification. The evidence that reveals your true identity is the article about the revolutionary. In translation, the headline reads, Revolutionary Violent Bolshevik Flees Russia for Shanghai. As you cannot fail to observe, the subject of the article possesses an extremely copious beer. Having known that article yourself, you decided to remove your incriminating facial hair before I give you away. In short, your true identity is beyond doubt. You are a fearsome Russian revolutionary himself, Villain Bolshevik. Not that I heard of you myself, you understand. Wrongdoing. Now, as for my second conclusion. You are, at this very moment, on the brink of committing the most grievous crime. And the proof of the crime, over there. Oh yes, Mr. Voilet. Taking awareness, people have the property to let their eyes stray, you see. Ah, and I assure you, the eyes speak to more accurately and honestly than the mouth. The answer we seek lies within the further glance false. The proof of your crime sits before our eyes. Yes, the traveling case. It is time, I think, that the case be opened and its contents laid bare. No, I don't refuse. What could you possibly be concealing inside, we ask? By the estimation, a young lady, perhaps, once slight enough to fit therein. Don't be absurd. And what, pray, will be the identity of this young woman in the traveling case? Dear me, we are not well suited for the life of crime, are we? Your carelessness, coup d'etat, portrays you. Once again, you need only follow your furthest glance to find the answer. Yes, the reason you refuse to open your traveling case is clearly to be found in the page of the newspaper. For there is another, most stimulating article. If we turn the fleeing revolutionary to the back page, renowned prima ballerina, the North Tibet ballet disappeared from Shanghai. Such a highlight can lead us to one conclusion. The crime is that of abduction. And according to the article, the young lady's name is Nikolina Pavlovna. Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction, this Russian enigma, Alamachsky. Susato-san? That wasn't one of the great deductions I've been hearing so much about, was it? Well, the stories were full of Mr. Sholmes' brilliant deductions, you know? But that did seem a little different somehow. Excuse me, Mr. Sholmes, can you come over here a sec? Pray, what can I do for you? It's about your deductions. Would you mind? Not at all. Go on. Well, to start with, there's a newspaper article. We had the same discussion before, but these two men look nothing like each other. Oh yes, I recorded the discussion earlier, and at the time I believe I told you that the man of the revolutionary will able to revolutionize his own appearance. In fairness to Mr. Schultz, Mr. Woylet does look more like this man than you do. That's not the point. And another thing, a part of him abducting the ballerina. Indeed, a truly startling revelation. At first glance, the case would appear too small to accumulate a young woman. Not just at first glance, it is too small, clearly. You'll be lucky to fit a 5-year-old case in that child into that case, even if you push really hard. I'm not supposed to missing ballerina as a 5-year-old child, is she? I mean, you don't know? No, a young lady is 15. No, I didn't know. How could I? Well, if she's 15, then 10 years worth of her would be poking at it from the case. Some years ago, I read something predicted it, I believe. A troop of men consuming vinegar daily in order to promote a certain leatherness of the bodies. Vinegar? For such a sour brunch, it would surely be simplifying itself to concern itself to the confines of the small case. Oh dear, you might be thinking of cumbershness of the circus, Mr. Sholmes. Ugh, this whole thing is turning into a circus. Mr. Naruhodo, something occurred to me about Mr. Sholmes' deductions just now. I think his powers of observation are magical. His eyes cut to the heart of the matter almost instantly. It's just where it directs his attention and his logic that seems a little off. Your idea of maybe a little off itself, Miss Susato. It's just one or two key words in the deduction that seems to let him down. I was wondering if we might perhaps tactically switch them for alternatives. What do you think? Switch some key words in his deductions? Yes, but very tactically. I feel sure we could do that. We all onto the true genius of Mr. Sholmes' great deduction. Precisely the thought I was going through my own mind. That's a lot of work. At times, I wonder what anyone puts up with me. Not funny. But you, my good fellow. Alright? Take a moment to look at your wrist. My wrist? Where are your handcuffs? Huh? How did it... I felt it may hinder your ability to follow me in your dance of deduction. I don't believe it. Mr. Sholmes, you are a marvel! And don't worry, I shall restore the shackles of your wrist when we are finished. I'm not worried, in fact, I'd rather stay like this. So, let us begin. Sherlock Holmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. Alright, course correction now. So, the dubious looking brush of Mr. Woylet. Obviously, what catches the eye of the first player? It's the enormous pair of smears in your hands. Then we ask ourselves, what could possibly be wrong with such a predicament? The answer, of course, is staring us in the face. You on the verge of using the smears to cut away the copious beer you sport. I'm not sure. Would you really use smears on that to cut off a beard? I doubt there's something I ever have to worry about. It doesn't quite sit right with me, though. It doesn't seem to be right next to Mr. Woylet either. Which means I suppose his deduction is wrong. Let's try to switch the key word here, Naruhodo-san, to see if it matters. Alright, but how? I think we should start by taking a long, hard look at Mr. Woylet. I wonder if that's really his beard that he tends to use his smears on. Exactly. If we do manage to find something that seems to fit the sense of Mr. Sholmes' deductions better, then what? Then we'll leave the rest in your capable hands, Naruhodo-san. Why am I the one to do something about this? Well, anyway, let's see if we can do anything we can use to switch around the last sentence. Looks like Mr. Boyle is really gonna use those enormous spear sport.
Yes!
You were on the verge of using the spears to cut away the golden locks you sport. Indeed, you have identified the precise detail I was intending to expose. Such lush golden hair surely does not befit an old man. You're not a man at all. You're a woman, and judging from the length of skin in your hair, one still very much of your youth. Oh no! If only I had managed to cut off my hair, no one would have suspected. The question then begs is this: why are you so desire to get rid of your magnificent locks? Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed light on the matter. I'm sure I need no further clarification. The evidence that reveals your true identity is the article by the Revolutionary. Well, that was a shock. I had no idea the old man was really a young woman in disguise, did you? What? Why are you staring at me like that? Yes, it was a surprise, Naruhodo-san. You're enjoying this, are you? Sorry? You look like you're on an element and dancing around the room discussing the facts with Mr. Shulm. I'm just doing what we agreed. I'm not having fun or anything. It's just strictly business, not strictly Yes, I understand. Say no more. Well, anyway, let's focus on the next part of Mr. Shulm's seduction, shall we? The evidence that he picked out doesn't fit the facts at all now. No, that's true, given that Mr. Roylet's actually a woman. Exactly. He, or rather, she, cannot possibly be the brushless revolutionary. I suppose because the deduction as a whole has taken a different direction now. Yes. Let's switch the evidence for something else. Something that fits the fact that we now understand them. For some reason, this woman needs to try to hide her true identity. I feel as though I've either read or heard about the young woman in a situation like that recently. Alright, I'll do my best.
Yes!
The evidence that reveals your true identity is, of course, the article about the ballerina. That's right, you hit a nail on the head. Renowned prima ballerina and enforcement ballet disappears from Shanghai. It would appear you are finally able to address you by your true name. Yes, because your true identity is that of the Noscivic ballerina prima ballerina. Miss Nikolina Pavlovia. You're right. My real name is Nina. I mean, Nikolina Pavlovia. But please, I beg you, don't tell anyone. Ballerina on the run. Now, as for my second conclusion, you are, at this very moment, on the brink of committing the most grievous crime. And the proof of the crime, over there. Oh yes, Miss Pavlovia. Taking awareness, people are a possibility to let their eyes stray, you see. Ah. And I assure you, your eyes speak so much more eloquently, honestly, than the mouth. The answer we seek lies within the future glance false. The proof of your crime sits before us on ours. Yes, the traveling case. This woman is a ballerina, and she's right on front of our eyes. But clearly she can't be inside that traveling case as well. No, that's right, since she wasn't abducted at all. In which case, what's the crime this young woman is apparently committing? I can see I'm going to step in and fix the great detective's mistake again. You seem to look pleased, Naruhodo-san. Do you like to get another chance to dance around Mr. Sholmes? Stop it. Anyway, there must be something else here that shows that this woman is up to. Tiara.
Yes!
The proof of your crime is surely this tiara. Ah! I believe this tiara was worn on stage by dancers in the Noshevich ballet. Noshevich ballet, is it not? Indeed, it would appear to be identical to the tiara picture here in this newspaper article. And if the reporting is to be believed, it's an item worth 20,000 rupees. In summary, the crime you have committed is theft. Oh no! Yes, you left the ballet troupe, unlawfully taking their precious tiara with you. Ah! I have no one, no family, no friends. I am alone, and I need money. But I did not steal the tiara. It was a present from, what do you say, Earl? Prussia? It belongs to me. This girl is only 15 years old, and she ran away all by herself? She must have been extremely lonely. Alright, I will tell you everything. There is no point to hiding it now. Come, let us not be hasty. What? There remains one unsolved mystery about you. Mystery? What do you mean? You have staunchly refused to open this traveling case of yours in our presence. It is reasonable to conclude, therefore, that there exists some reason why you wish to remain it closed. Is it not so, Miss Pavlovia? My dear girl, there is no sense of playing games with me. Nothing escapes my attention. Indeed, I had a very good idea of the contents of your case even before I have ever laid eyes on them. Dear me, we are not well suited for the life of crime, are we? Your careless, good girl betrays you. Once again, I need only follow your curious glance to find the answer. Yes, the reasons why you refuse to open your case is within the books of the shelf. He's completely changed tact with his deduction now. Mr. Sholmes is adapting his logic to the changing circumstances, don't you? Maybe, but why does he suddenly brought up the bookshelf about all this? It's just a wild guess, surely. Oh, do you think so? Well, it doesn't seem likely that the reason why this young woman doesn't want to open her case would have been written in the book that doesn't belong to her. Yes, that's true. But still, Miss Pavlovia certainly did cast her eyes in that direction. I noticed it myself. There has to be another reason why she won't open her case. There must be someone in the same area if that's where the glaze is voluntarily drawn. I agree, that's the only answer. Whatever she has hidden inside that case should be revealed by following her glance in the direction of the bookcase.
Yes!
Yes, the reason why you refuse to open your case is within the rules of passage. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in the cabin. Pets are also strictly forbidden. Inside that case of yours is something forbidden from carriage of this vessel. That is the real reason why you refuse to open it, thus revealing its contents. As we see, the trunk wobbles from time to time, but no weapon or other dangerous item could have moved on its own accord. Which leads but one possibility, Miss Pavlovia, inside your traveling case. Is the last item listed as a forbidden in the vessel's rules of passage a pet? Deduction complete. Elementary. Woof! That was fun. So clearly you aren't who you said you were. No, I am not going to be Roilet. My real name is Nikolina Pavlovia. Everything you said was correct. You're condescendingly during one of the ballet's company's performance in order to escape your homeland. Later that same night, you stole abroad of this vessel, which couldn't have been easy, with Bernie as a large teamster with a vast crew. But she really snuck on board without being noticed. In order to obscure your true identity, you somewhat recklessly took the disguise of an old gentleman, and you intend to sever all links in your past by severing your long hair. Yet to a woman, hair is no trifling matter. My personal recommendation is to leave well alone. So if it was just you about to cut off your own hair, who was it that let out that scream that we heard from outside the cabin? That virtual thinking of a bell? Why, none other than this young lady, naturally. More like a full set of pipes, if you ask me. I was so scared when I ran away in Shanghai. I was sure they would come looking for me. That's why I decided to, how do you say, disguise myself? So no one would recognize me. As a result, you transform yourself into that questionable man? I see. I put on a fur hat and fake beard. Then, just before you came in here, I saw in the newspaper, right on the page, there was a picture of me. I was so frightened, I couldn't stop from screaming. I knew that if I didn't change my appearances completely, they would find me. So I decided to cut all my hair off as fastly as possible. Picked up the scissors in my hand and... At the precise moment, we walked in through the annoying unlocked cabin door. Things happen like that sometimes, don't they? Things do indeed happen like that from time to time. Are those two even talking about the same thing? There's just one more thing I'd like to know. What exactly do you have inside the traveling case? You were right. It is my dear friend inside. My only friend in the whole world. Please, don't tell anyone. If the captain finds out, if you say to any of the crew. Your secret is safe with us, I assure you. But in return, you must tell us, in the much detail that you must muster about the events of last night. Yes, alright, I will tell you. Well, Mr. Naruhodo? Wasn't that something, Mr. Shong's great deduction? It was certainly something, yes. I'm just not entirely sure what. But at least Miss Pavlovia has agreed to tell us what she knows. That's incredible. Indeed, it is incredible. Ah, and one more thing. Oh, yes? What? Observe your wrist. My... Ah, your hand! Are cuffed again. What? But how? True to my word, I have restored your shackles. When and why? There is still a shadow of doubt cast over you, Mr. Naruhodo. I'm sorry to say, it can't be helped at the moment. Ah, can it really? Anyway, let's listen to what Miss Pavlovia has to say. I can't go on without not knowing. I have to find out what the speckled band that Kazuma-sama wrote in the diary really was. I was talk to her now. Did you know about someone was killed in the cabin next door in this one last night? One of the crewmen told me this morning when I was eating breakfast. The man who died, he was a friend of mine. Oh! That's why we're trying to find out what happened. Did you notice anything unusual last night? Perhaps you heard a strange noise, for example? Perhaps people talking? Perhaps the ship was absorbed in a wild tempest? Perhaps the steam engine exploded? Perhaps everyone on board will have noticed if that happened. Miss Pavlovia? Is there anything you can tell us? I don't know. I'm sorry, but all I could think about last night is what I've done and whether they would find me. I didn't notice anything that was happening around me. Oh, I see. You're running away from the ballet company, haven't you? The Noshevich ballet? Yes. I'm traveling to Great Britain, and from there, I want to go to America. I will never dance again. I want to forget everything about the ballet. I will start a new life. You wish to forget? I'm challenging a proposition. When you have that striking tiara as a reminder. But that tiara is mine. I need it to live. I have no money on my own. The Noshevich ballet gives us only a little food and water, and we must dance all over the world. I had to run away. I had no choice. If I stayed, it would have killed me. So you ran away to protect yourself? Yes, and the crew of the ship, they all been kind to me. They let me come on board, and they said I could hide in this cabin. If that is indeed the truth, Miss Pavlovia, it creates the most intriguing conundrum. Yes, it does. What do you think about it, Mr. Narahora? Me? Oh, well, yes, of course. I think we should hear Miss Pavlovia's explanation. To what conundrum? I'm not sure, but... Miss Pavlovia, allow me to oppose your riddle. According to this newspaper, it was only yesterday that you were absent from the ballot. Now, that being the case, it must have been last night that you aborted this vessel. However, the SS Brunia stopped by no port last night. Ah, that's it, of course. So how was it, Parade, that you come to be aboard? Now that I think about it, the crewsman outside the cabin acted very strangely when we mentioned that. It was just after we spoke asking about the occupant of this cabin came aboard. That is not your business. Yes, you're right. He did seem to be hiding something. The angel descended from the heavens, bringing grace and beauty to the stage. Sorry? What was that? It is how the Russian newspaper described one of my performances. And that is how I came here too. I descended from the heavens, because I am an angel. Considering English isn't your mother's tongue, your description is very vivid. Mr. Schultz once said I never can resist the touch of a dramatic. It is Miss Pavlovia is the same. A genius descended from the heavens, bringing grace and beauty to detention. Words once said about myself. A quote from the one that first advertisement the adventures of Herlock Sholmes, in fact. Yes, Mr. Showy. Anyway, it doesn't look like Miss Pavlovia is going to tell us what really happened. So the friend you mentioned is inside your traveling case, is that right? I don't think animals are allowed on board according to the rules of passage. Oh please, don't tell any of the crew. They found my precious. Then the burly Russians will desert yourselves in the Union and throw you and your case overboard, no doubt. Ah. So we're sorry, Mr. Sholmes. What sort of pet is your friend? Little puppy? Isn't it? Maybe an adorable little rabbit? Ha! You credit Russia the land of small rabbits, do you? Oh, don't they have small rabbits there then? You may well ask. I have no idea. Ah. You two are miserable bunglers when it comes to understanding the nature of young ballerina friends. Isn't it obvious? It must be a chicken. Really? Considering the benefits, a rousing wake-up call, daily fresh eggs, and when the adversary strikes, it can satisfy the needs of sustenance. So you eat your friends. I'll remember that. Well, it would appear this friend's identity is a closely guarded secret and not to be revealed. She obviously doesn't quite trust us yet. There's something I should like to show her, I think. Maybe she might be able to shed some light on it. Oh yes, I know what that is. This is the diary of my friend who passed away. His diary? Yes, and he wrote it last night before he died. Something a little unusual. It reads 1:23 a.m. I heard a faint whistling sound. And a few minutes later, 1:35 a.m. What looked like some sort of speckled bandage dangling from the ventilator grill. A speckled band? I don't understand. It's strange, isn't it? But the ventilator he mentions joined his cabin, you see. It's up there on the wall. In other words, the cabin and the victim's cabin are connected together. Oh. Miss Pavlovia? Has something occurred to you? Speckled band the victim mentioned means something to you? Or the whistling sound, perhaps? No. I don't know anything. Oh. Excuse me, Mr. Roylett. Yes, what? Wow, she's fast. Captain would like to speak with you. You must come to Captain's quarters at once. Please. Alright, I will come now. What? You must leave. Now. Oh no, it's fine. Don't mind us. Yes, please don't worry yourself, Mr. Roylett. Get out! The passenger said out and you want me to throw you out. Ugh, it looks like we'll have to leave our investigation in this cabin until later. What a pity. And so we lost our chance. Having still not managed to investigate Miss Pavlovia's cabin, we were unceremoniously chased out. That is to say, we were quite literally picked up and thrown into the passageway outside. Alright. Alright, that actually took a lot longer than expected, so we're going to end it here. And there will be no raid target as I don't feel like raiding. So until then, this is Robin Phoenix signing out. Peace.